Well, today we're excited to have 13 schools represented from all over the state of California. These students are members of the Future Farmers of America, and that means they are taking an ag class at their respective high schools.
And they're pruning 3 classes of vines. They have bilateral cordons, as we have in front of us. And just a little bit behind me is also they're pruning cane prune vines. And then down the road a ways they're doing quadrilateral cane prune vines as well.
These kids have been practicing with their coaches at these different schools in practicing pruning vines for time and speed and precision. And they've also been studying the pruning chapter from the General Viticulture book, and they'll be taking a written test later this afternoon. So we'll be giving out awards for each of the pruning classes and the written test, as well as overall awards.
We obviously have a much higher density of planting here than they're used to. The vines are not as vigorous just because of our soils, our geography, our climate. And so it's a whole different thing, but we're looking for more quality versus quantity in pruning. Also here we deal with wires. We have a multitude of movable wires here that traps that foliage in. That's a little bit more difficult than they may be used to in pruning in their areas. So again, it's trying to open up their field of vision a little bit, that things are different here in the North Coast than they might be used to playing with in their districts or in their school vineyards or whatever. One of the things we do at this contest, unlike other contests, is the fact that our judges that come from also the North Coast get together with the kids out in the field and say, here's what we're expecting you to do for pruning, and actually maybe prune 1 or 2 vines so they could see what we do here in the North Coast being much different than the Central Valley.
When kids want to participate in these teams, they usually want to improve their public speaking, which they're going to do through giving reasons to judges. They want to learn a new skill that's going to help them in a future career. A lot of these students will go into the viticulture and enology field. With the other career development events, they can learn about livestock or writing or business or mechanics, and so they sign up for these teams. It's sort of like an extracurricular event. They practice, they travel to different colleges to compete, and so these students generally have an interest in plant science or viticulture, animal science, whatnot, and they're here to gain some skills in the appropriate field.
I want to get a major in viticulture when I go to college, so that's what I'm into. But right now it's just a lot of fun. So
it's pretty much a hobby for now. I'm a dairyman in Lodi, actually. So we do more dairy, but I just wanted to do vine pruning because that actually just, to learn more about viticulture, and, prepares me for the future if I ever go into it.
They come here to the Napa Valley because they'd like to see the differences between what they see in their region. For example, Fresno, they're not going to see vineyards like this. So it's a good chance for them to see the Napa Valley and really experience what we do up here, because it is a huge component of the viticulture and enology field. So these guys take a big field trip up here to learn about what we do here in the Napa Valley, and then in turn we also go down to Fresno and Reedley area to see how things are done in that valley. So it's a learning experience to make sure you encompass and learn about all the facets here in California.
The ground rules for the contest is the students will prune for time a certain amount of vines, and they have to be as proficient as possible within that time frame for the vines that are selected, that they actually select. The judges don't select the vines for them, but the vines should be relatively uniform and healthy and not weak and extra strong. And then as they finish, that time is called, and they have to put their shears down or put them away, and one by one they're brought in, and then they have to give reasons to the judge why they're making their selections, why they're making their cuts the way they are, and the reasons that they are making good decisions on that. So the contest is just not talking about just pruning and leaving. They also have to give reasons at some point to that judge why they're selecting this position versus this position, or whatever the circumstance is.
It's my 3rd year doing it, and I can't wait every year when it's summertime. I'm like, I can't wait till vine pruning starts again.
All the schools are sending really qualified students along the way for pruning, and it's been a great experience for me to help coach and to be a part of this.